It roared like a champion and killed like a traitor. An engine so radical it redefined Chevrolet and nearly buried it. The 265th wasn't just a breakthrough. It was a mechanical gamble that paid in trophies and lives. Hailed in daylight as the weapon that humbled Ford, whispered about at night as the silent killer in Chevy's garages. Why did racers strap in knowing it could fail without warning? And how did one engine ignite the small block dynasty while threatening to end it before it began? This is the story of Chevy's first small block V8, the 265 Turbo Fire, a mechanical gamble that changed American engines forever. Early 1950s, America's car buyers had a fever, and the cure then was a V8. In 1950, just over a quarter of new car buyers wanted one. By 1954, it was half the market. Ford had their new Y block. Even tiny Studebaker was in the game. Chevrolet, General Motors' golden child, was stuck selling inline sixes in a V8 world. Chevy's general manager, Thomas Keating, saw disaster coming. In a blunt 1952 memo, he warned, "We've become too six-cylinder minded." The message was clear. Build us a V8 fast. The first attempt came from Edward Kelly, the man behind the Stovebolt 6. He started with Cadillac's 331 V8 design, but it was heavy, dated, and left no room to grow. Then came Ed Cole, fresh off Cadillac's OHV program and ready to burn the old plans. Cole said, "You don't fix an old design, you start with a clean sheet." He wanted lightweight, low cost, easy serviceability, and an architecture that could grow for decades. Cole's team, led by John Dolza, flipped tradition on its head. They used green sand cores to cast the block upside down, holding wall thickness to just 5/32 of an inch. It was strong, light, and cheap to make. They picked 4.4-inch bore centers to keep the block compact, just 21.75 inches long. Originally planned at 245 cubic inches, displacement quickly grew to 265 to match Ford in the horsepower race. Over-square design, bigger bore than stroke for revs, hollow push rods, oiling without complex passages, stamped steel rocker arms, cheap, light, strong, interchangeable heads, no left-right versions to slow production. Forged steel crankshaft, tough and well-balanced. Wedge-shaped combustion chambers, more power, less knock. Even the valve covers carried the now iconic Chevrolet script. This wasn't just an engine, it was a brand statement. On paper, brilliant. In reality, it could bite. Flaw number one, oil filtration. The 1955 version had no full-flow filter. The optional bypass filter only cleaned about 10% of the oil at a time. Grit and metal shavings went straight into the bearings. Smokey Yunick put it bluntly. They gave us a great motor, but forgot to keep it alive. Flaw number two, tight piston clearance. Hot climates or heavy loads caused expansion, scuffing the cylinders, earning it the nickname, the scuffer. Flaw number three, rushed systems. No PCV valve. Rudimentary cam lubrication. Minimal crankcase breathing. When the 265 ran well, nothing Ford had could touch it. In 1955, 162 horsepower with a two-barrel, 180 with the power pack, and the Super Turbo Fire hit 195 horsepower. Herb Thomas took 12 NASCAR wins that year. Buck Baker and Tim Flock piled on more. Chevy closed the season with 38 wins, humiliating Ford on the track. And in the Corvette, the 265th earned the nickname Mighty Mouse. Small, but fierce. It cut 0 to 60 times from 11 seconds to just 8.7, saving the Corvette from cancellation and turning it into a real performance car. In 1957, leftover 265 blocks were painted bright chartreuse to distinguish them from the new 283s. It wasn't Chevy's first V8. That honor goes to a 1917 to 18 288 cubic inch OHV monoblock, making just 36 horsepower. Forgotten today, but it proves Chevy could build a V8 decades earlier. The 265's bookfold cylinder heads were mirror image castings, a clever cost and tooling saver. And by 1957, the 283, the 265's evolved cousin, became one of the first production engines to hit 1 horsepower per cubic inch, thanks to fuel injection and a Duntov cam. By the end of 1955, nearly half of Chevy buyers picked the new V8. The 265's DNA bore centers, block design, and manufacturing tricks, lived on in every small block Chevy to follow. 283, 327, 350, all the way into the 21st century. Even today, you can buy a brand new small block crate engine, a direct descendant of that rushed 1955 gamble. The 265 Turbofire was both savior and saboteur, an engine that built Chevrolet's future while risking its present. Was it worth the gamble? Give your opinion in the comments below. Remember to like this video and also subscribe Elite Cars. I'll see you down the road.